Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make your very own modern mansion. This house features a courtyard, which has a farm for utility purposes. We have a nice outdoor seating area fit with some spooky campfires. We have flower beds and leaves decorating the pool, which we have built into the ground, which has loungers and parasols. We have an outdoor barbecue area hidden away in amongst the house itself. This is a good place to enter the house, as if we walk through these doors right here, you will find a large extensive kitchen which has cookers and sinks and mug trees and cabinets and all sorts of things that one would want to find in a kitchen, including food. Probably the primary important thing that you probably want from the kitchen. We have a nice open plan dining area and a jukebox for music. We have a TV and a sofa with coffee table. We have a nice little reading library. We have lamps and rugs, and we even have an aquarium built under the stairs, which I'm very, very fond of. Say hello to Mick and Mike. They're not very talkative. We can head upstairs, which will take us into the large master bedroom, which has several features, but one of which is that it has an ensuite attached to it. So we have a toilet and a bath in the ensuite and towels and rugs. But the master bedroom itself has a reading area, a little reading nook that you can enjoy. We have cabinets and tables, and we have a TV suspended from the ceiling, and a large double bed, a dressing table, wardrobes, armor, and storage. As we head through the house itself, we move on to the secondary bedroom, which is a little bit smaller, honestly. We have a double bed and a small table to read out, a little bit of storage, and we even have probably the world's smallest ensuite, where we have a little bit of a cramped bath. I certainly wouldn't get in there myself, and we have a toilet which takes up most of the room. And beyond that, we actually don't really have anything else, except we have this nice balcony which we can admire all of our stuff from. Ladies and gentlemen, you would be surprised at how often I get asked to make an interior for the houses that I build. And to be quite honest, it is not my favorite thing to actually make a tutorial for or to design, but because I love you guys so much, I have once again done it for this house. What I would appreciate is, if you guys do indeed want to see the interior, please let me know down below in a comment. Let me know that you want to see the interior. And if this video, and I know that I am asking a lot, I do apologize. If this video hits 2,000 likes, I will promptly make the interior tutorial, which will show you how to make the entire outside of the build, the campfire, everything, and all of the inside of the build, the kitchen, the living room, the bedrooms, absolutely everything. If this video hits 2,000 likes, within a few days of that, I guarantee that the interior tutorial will be made, which you can find in the card system description below in the top of the comment section. Thank you so much, everybody. If that goal does get reached, I would really appreciate it. And that's pretty much it. Let's get building. Here are all of the materials that you will need to make your modern mansion. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. So now that we have all of our stuff, we can get started. So the first thing that we have to do in building our house is we have to start off by placing 4 grey concrete directly on top of each other. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend that to the right by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to grab our white concrete and we want to extend it to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to grab our grey concrete once more, and we want to extend right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want to do 2 things. Number 1, we want to extend this block just down to the ground like this, but in addition to that, we want to extend this block upwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to take a sideways view like this, and we want to extend that 4th block backwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Grab your light grey concrete and place one underneath that 3rd block. Extend the light grey concrete towards you by 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Extend that block backwards by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. and then extend inwards by 3. So 1, 2, 3. I want you to place a grey concrete on top of this and extend the grey concrete backwards by 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. We then want to extend it across the back of the build by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What we then want to do is we want to take this 8th block and we want to extend it inwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. We then want to grab the white concrete and place 1 underneath. We then want to extend the white concrete to the right by 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can join that 13th block all the way down to the ground if you like, but we also want to take that 13th block and we want to extend it forwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you like, you can once more extend this down to the ground as well, so we can start establishing some solid shapes rather than the kind of aerial one that we have now. We then want to take that 6th block and we want to extend it inwards by 3, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3. We want to grab our light grey concrete and we want to extend that 3rd block forwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we want to extend it down by 2. 1, 2. Like this. But what we also want to do is we want to extend that 2nd block to the right. Now, I'm not going to give you an amount, but it wants to be equal in length to the row of grey concrete that we kind of have just in front. So the end result of all of this should look like that, ladies and gentlemen, and you're probably looking at that and thinking, what? Exactly. But it's going to come together, trust me. So the first thing that we're actually going to do, because it's kind of a linchpin in a lot of things, is we are going to focus on this row of 4 white concrete right here. I want you to extend this row of 4 white concrete upwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to extend every one of those white concretes upwards by 5. I also want you to join them down to the ground as well, so we want a massive white concrete post, like this. I want you to extend the entire area forwards by 1 row, so it's actually going to overhang the majority of the house. We want to take the upper part of this, or as a matter of fact, you could take the entire thing and extend it backwards by 2 rows, although I dare say that if we do take the entire thing and extend it backwards by 2 rows, we're going to end up having to delete some if we tackle the inside. But you know what? That's a tomorrow problem, not today. So we're going to take most of the build and we're going to extend it backwards by 2. I'm leaving a little bit out of the center just for a little bit of time saving, but that's what we want to have so far. So now you can see the light grey concrete above would connect to the white concrete as the grey concrete does down below. So this area of grey concrete just to the left of us, as it's very simple, wants to be divided like this. Left of the white concrete post, we want to have 2 rows of glass pane, specifically light blue glass pane extending from the ground upwards to the grey concrete. There then wants to be a solid barrier of grey concrete, and then a row of light blue glass pane extending across to the left. So once you've done that, the area kind of behind this is actually going to be kind of a barbecue area, really. So in the ground, you can actually dig out, if you like, extending backwards from this row, probably about a row of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can replace the ground with grey concrete. I want you to take the 6th block and I want you to extend it upwards by 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want you to extend it left and join it to where the white concrete is, and we're just going to create a solid wall doing this. So we're going to join all of these grey concretes down to the ground. This is going to form a room, an outside room, but a room nonetheless, and we actually should, parallel to where we have the 2x2 window, or 2x3 as it is, we actually want to have a doorway parallel to it, so just on the opposite side there. Underneath the glass that we have here, we can actually place ourselves some grey concrete, and there's no reason why we can't do it to the window area too. And then when it comes to the ground here, oak planks is pretty good. This entire build is a mixture of grey, white and oak, so you're more than welcome to change things as you see fit, but we're going to be using a mixture of these, and preferably we want to use them in somewhat equal measure, meaning we want all of the materials to be kind of present at once instead of one that overbears and overpowers. We're going to take grey concrete and we're going to extend this corner backwards so that the light grey has something to sit on. We don't want its legs to get tired. And on the left area here, we're going to place a row of white concrete that kind of just connects down from the ground all the way up, or up to down, whichever way you want to see it. The light grey concrete area that we kind of have here is a balcony, so we can actually fill the top of this in, and this will depend upon what you want to use as a floor material. I use oak for a lot of the floor, so I'm going to use oak as a balcony floor material here, extending inwards, filling in the top of the barbecue area. This allows us to then manipulate this area. On the left side here we will have a door. The door is a 2x2 area, so right of this we're using a vertical row of light grey concrete, and the rest of this shall be glass. Now the glass is going to extend all the way over to the right, and it would of course connect to the white concrete area here. I'm going to place in a light grey concrete row for support, just like this, so you can see this is coming together rather nicely. The entire balcony area is also going to have light blue glass pane just surrounding it, and you can choose to fill this little wall in here to the left using light grey concrete, or you can fill it in with glass. You're going to want to decide on windows and stuff. I mean, this is me, I like to decide on windows after I've done the interior, so I'll leave that up to you. But some windows are quite clearly necessary to make the build look nice. So the left area here, light blue glass pane. We're going to place white concrete just in the base of it like this. As you might be able to imagine, later on this is going to have a walkway connected to it, and there's only going to be a limited amount of space allowing you to enter the barbecue area. It's these two blocks here. These can be replaced using some oak planks, and the remaining 3 grey concretes actually want to be joined up from the ground upwards like this. So that's looking pretty good. The left hand side of the house is pretty much laid out and mapped for us, but what does that leave us on the right hand side? Well, we want to take this grey concrete here at the top front right hand corner of the building, we want to extend it across. We want to take this backwards F, which is how I used to write them when I was a child, and I want to split the area vertically straight in the middle to create kind of like, it reminds me of like a Christmas package or something. So now that we have done that, we then want to place light blue glass pane in the left side of this and the upper right side. The lower right side is going to be an entranceway. You can tackle this in any way you like. You could place light blue glass block here and have a double door. You could simply leave it open. You could have a half door using glass like this. The options are not endless, but you've got a few of them. Underneath the glass here on the left, we can destroy these and we can place ourselves some grey concrete. That is not looking bad whatsoever. Whilst we are in this area, just for the sake of having to come back to this later, I want you to, with your light grey concrete right of the entrance, this block right here, I want you to place 8 light grey concretes extending forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I then want you to extend it left by 3. 1, 2, 3. In the ground, I want you to dig a row of 8 going left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are actually going to be glass pane. It looks a little horrible now, but it will look better later. We want to dig out the next row just to the left, and we want to place a light grey concrete, and we want to extend it inwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And that will be light grey concrete. This will mark out the pool area, which we will have later. We can even mark it out a little bit more, as we are in this area right now. There are 2 blocks that make up the doorway. They're going to be oak planks. These planks want to be extended forwards like this. They will hit the light grey barrier that we have somewhat created for ourselves. But in addition to this, we want to have 2 rows of oak planks that kind of extend in front of the white concrete area that we kind of just have just to the left of us, and we want to knock out this little bit of grass here as well. All of this is going to be oak planks. This is going to make kind of like a little relaxing area here, and it's just going to make kind of like I want to say a decking area, but it's not quite, for kind of like the lounging pool area. There's also going to be a row of quartz slabs just here that allows you to take a little bit of a dip into the pool without having to jump that one whole block. Very scary. And we want to have something which should look like this. But in addition to this, I want to point out that these 3 here, oak planks, we want to make a staircase. We're going to destroy these and place some oak stairs in front. We want to destroy in front and a little bit further down, and we want to have another row of oak stairs. Underneath those oak stairs is kind of the ideal depth to where we are going to be going for this particular part of the walkway. So, the second lot of stairs. So after digging 2 rows of stairs down, we then want to place a row of oak planks that extends across, just like this. So we go down by 2 rows using the stairs connected to the walkway that we have to the right of us, and the oak planks they basically just want to poke out the left hand side here, just 2 rows to the left, and we just want to kind of dig out this little area here. So we just want to have something which should look like this. So we're kind of going from a row of 3 here to a row of 2 here on the left. We then want to use oak stairs, and we want to create just a couple of rows of stairs just like this, extending back upwards, and maybe we can shave off another row here, and we can make it so that we kind of have like 2 rows to walk into the little barbecue area. You could, if you wanted to, then just add some grey concrete there. I just think that that looks a little bit better like that. So then, what we now have, so you can see that we can walk up and down this area here, we can come into the house this way. We then just have this area of house, we have to be able to enter the front, which is kind of like the sunken in area, if you want to call it that. I don't like calling it that. What we're then going to do is we're going to, from these 2 blocks here that are kind of parallel to this little staircase here, we're going to dig out just a few rows of 2 just in front of this, and it literally, we will just only be able to place 1 set of stairs extending down, and then the floor is going to, I'm dealing with bedrock, so you'll just have to dig just 1 row down, and then we will have our oak planks like this. This area here, just in between all of this, you can dig it all out. We're probably going to have a mass digging out later on, but just for the sake of this, I want you to see how this is kind of, how this is all put together. Just for the sake of this, this is going to be just dug out. Later on, we'll be replacing the bedrock with some grass, and we'll make it look all nice. We'll have some leaves here a little bit later on if we do decide to do the second part of this, and this area here is going to be a pool and all sorts. So you can kind of see how this is all put together. As I did mention, we'll work on the rest of this, the sunken in area, the dip, a little bit later, but now that we've kind of devised this area that we have right here, we're going to move on to the structure of the house, because there's a lot to do here. So I want you to move over to the right, and I want you to start working on kind of like, it's kind of like a side entrance. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to join the light grey concretes here on the right side down to the ground. We're going to join this left side down to the ground, and we're going to join the right side down to the ground. I actually said that in reverse in relation to what I was doing. We want to fill this area in here using some grey concrete. If you wanted to, you can actually make a little bit of a window here. If you make it the same height and length as the window just on the side, it actually looks quite nice. We want to have an entrance, as I mentioned. Now the entrance, I'm going to place, All we have to have is we just have to have enough room for a double door. So doors are 2x2, so underneath where the door would be, we just want to place some oak planks here, just like this. We're then going to use quartz stairs in front of the oak planks, and we're going to place upside down quartz stairs underneath, and then in front, and underneath, and in front, so on and so forth until we eventually hit the ground. You'll be able to imagine that later on, this will go further down, but just for now, just to kind of get the structure involved, that's how it's going to look. And we want to, from the opposite side of the staircase here, we want to use grey concrete. So on the right of the quartz stair, we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grey concrete. We want to join it, we want to join it down to the ground like this. We want to fill all of this in using grey concrete like this, and that's how it's going to look. And once more, you'll be able to imagine this. It's actually going to go down to the bedrock, so we could place these quartz stairs now. It just means some digging, but I'm sure that you guys are okay with that. I mean, that's what part of this house is built on, digging. And you'll be able to see the quartz stairs go here, and then here, and then here, just like this. As simple as that. They'll go all the way down. You'll be able to, I'm sure that you'll be able to know that the quartz stairs will have to extend in front of the pool area and such, but we will be tackling all of that later. The quartz stairs will have a little, that's white concrete, my bad. The quartz stairs will have a quartz path which kind of like connects to where you would enter at the entrance, and the entrance kind of takes you one of two ways. You can either go into the house on the left, or you can go to the house on the right. Like, it gives you two nice options. So the next thing that we're going to do, remember that there would be doors here on the right hand side of the build. Honestly, there's not really any windows, so we just want to join all of the light grey concrete down. There's pretty much no windows because this area is heavily utilized for both levels of the house. The living room number 1 and the bedroom up above it number 2. So we're just going to fill that wall in. When it comes to the ceilings and stuff, I mean, that's a little bit of a tricky subject as well, but we can make solid shapes by like joining the grey concrete front to back, joining the light grey concrete front to back. We can do the same here. We can extend the grey concrete here. If you just create some solid shapes, same with the white concrete. It's pretty much about extending, just extending rows across and just making kind of like rectangles like this, and underneath the natural lines of the house as well. So just like joining things together will just make things look a little bit nicer, but that's something that we will actually be tackling a little bit more if we do the interior tutorial, because we actually will be dividing the second floor of the house up, and it won't be appropriate to place all of the skylights and stuff that we would be doing otherwise. So on the left side of the house here, we have our light grey concrete. So I'm actually going to join the corner down to the ground. I'm going to place a row of light grey concrete. I'm going to leave a gap of 2 from the top and then a horizontal row of light grey, and then I'm going to fill this entire area in here with glass. We may be shrinking this area a little bit later on, but we'll see. I want you to use your grey concrete, and I want you to join the grey concrete that is up above us. I want you to join it down to the ground like this. I also want you to do the same here just on the right hand side. So we can take the grey, we can join it down on the right hand side as well. So just in equal measure. What we will then be able to do once we have done that is we have this entire area at the back, and on the left hand side here we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3 glass, grey concrete, 1, 2, 3 glass, just like this. We're going to place grey concrete underneath the glass like so. And we're going to divide the house up into 2, just like this. Similar to what we've done on the front, but it's not in the same line. We want to have 2 rows of glass above the glass that we have below us. So we're actually going to put just a line above it. We're going to be able to have 2 rows, and then we're going to fill just above this in using grey concrete. So just like this. We're going to take these 2 little areas here, we're going to place light blue glass pane inside them. So instead of having just empty spaces, of course, we want to have windows. The entire back of the house here, and this little right hand side part, or I suppose it is the left depending upon how you look at things, I'm going to recommend you just place white concrete, okay? Again, when we get to the inside, there's so much going on against the walls, especially on the lower half of the build. There is a big long kitchen, so I don't really want to impede any of the kitchen by filling it in. The left side here is the same. This is going to be another part of the kitchen, so I'm just going to fill this in using white concrete, just like this. When it comes to the roofs, at the moment, if you like, you can just fill them in using light blue glass block. If you just completely fill the roofs in with this, it kind of leaves a nice empty slate to do in the inside. As I said, on the second floor of the house, I actually divide it up quite nicely into separate rooms. I mean, hopefully you may have seen some of these at the start of the video. I'm sure that you may have. And inside all of these rooms, there's walls, and the walls, of course, would impede the look of the top of the build. So it really is best just to blankly fill them in, and we'll fix them later on. But if you don't plan on doing the inside of the house, or if you plan on doing your own inside, you might very well just be able to place all of this glass just like this. I think that might be just about it for that. So now we've pretty much sealed up the entire house, ladies and gentlemen. We've done a pretty good job of it, I do think. Make sure to fill in underneath any of the glass areas with blocks. So underneath any of the glass, fill it in with the same color concrete block for the particular area, and it will just look a little bit better. The same kind of goes for, you can see here where we have this dirt underneath the grey concrete. If you see an area like this anywhere, fill underneath of the area in with the same material. So here it is dark grey, back there it was like light grey and such. So that kind of leaves this, right? Okay, so now we're going to tackle the pool because it's quite simple. First of all, we're going to dig 2 rows down into the pool. We need to dig 2 because we need to have a bottom for our pool. The bottom of the pool is just going to be glass because I think that it just looks kind of nice as glass. I kind of like it. It's the same sort of material as... and also, by the way, you may want to dig... You may want to dig 3 rows down, okay? Because you may want to place something underneath the glass, just so that you've not got dirt. It'd actually be a cool effect for me because I'm kind of like in bedrock here. It'd actually be a cool effect for me if you could see like all the way down like this. That'd actually be crazy. So I might actually do that and see how that looks like. Dig out the sides of the pool. On this side, obviously, I'm going to do oak because, I mean, it's oak. Like we'll be able to see it, so it will join all the way down. On this side, I might make it oak as well. Just because, or I could make it block of quartz actually, or that's kind of annoying. I'll use white concrete instead, because I don't have the solid quartz blocks here. Underneath this is going to be light grey underneath all of this. And this wants to go down to the ground anyway, so this isn't a waste of time whatsoever. So all of this wants to be light grey underneath this glass. And the same can go for the left side here. All of this can be just filled in using light grey. So here, just like that. That's looking fantastic. And then we want to add a row of light blue glass, just like this. I mean, this might look good, or it might look a little bit goofy, I don't know. But I think it's kind of cool that you can see into the bottom of the world. And then you can just fill this in with water, which we'll do a little bit later on. But that's kind of like what we've got going on so far. What we have to do now, ladies and gentlemen, is what's known as a little bit of excavating. Okay, so what I mean by excavating is, I want you to dig from in front of the pool. We have to dig 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to dig 6 rows, okay? Now, these 6 rows also want to extend all the way over to the left, where we've already dug out, so we can just kind of make a right angle of this. And they want to go all the way over to the right and to where we've already dug out. So you can see this is the area that we are going to want to dig out completely, all right? So how many rows do you have to dig down? Let's say you're not in bedrock. You have to dig down 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row. So that's it. You have to dig 4 rows down. So, this is what the area looks like now. I'm not going to bore you by having you watch me dig all this out. So, this is what it will look like once you have dug out all of that area. Maybe not, maybe you won't be looking into the abyss that is lower than bedrock, but this is what we should have. So once you have finished digging all of that out, and I should imagine it might take you a little while, what I am going to do is establish a firm boundary around the house by placing grey concrete on the left side of the house here. I'm going to extend a row of grey concrete, and on the right side of the house a row of grey concrete, just so it extends one row over. I'm going to dig out the grass that is in between here, and I'm going to place an entire row of grey concrete. Starting from the left side, I want to count out a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 6th and 7th blocks, I'm going to place quartz stairs. Now, I can place glass pane on the rows of grey concrete, just like this. And this is how we are going to get down into our modern house. So, all we have to do is run a row of stairs. You can't even place that many of them. One set of stairs here, 2, and then another. How many will this be? So this will take us, actually that will do. That takes us down. So just a couple of rows like this. Actually, no, do we place that foot? No, because we can't place it lower than the bedrock. So it will just take us onto the floor here. So when it comes to the floor, we're going to have, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to get rid of the quartz slabs because I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed by them, and I'm going to grab solid block of quartz, okay? So I want to place a couple of rows of block of quartz just in front of the stairs at the ground level. I'm going to extend the quartz stairs, or the quartz blocks, forwards and left, and I just want to basically join them in kind of like a squarish manner like this. I kind of just want to join them like so to the area just to the left of us. So that will take us to the left side. That can take us through the barbecue area. It can take us right across the pool. It can take us into the house. We also want to have a row of block of quartz that will take us to the right side. So, leaving a gap of 1 between in front of the pool here, we want to have 2 rows of block of quartz that simply just take a nice steep turn all the way over to the right, and we just want to have 2 rows of block of quartz just like this. And that will join us to the right side of the house. Everything else is rather simple. As a matter of fact, just to make things rather easy, because again, I'm not going to be tackling kind of like the details of the outside and the inside unless you guys do want to see the interior tutorial. I'm just going to make the rest of this grass. I'm going to make the rest of the floor grass because, quite honestly, staring into the relatively pleasant sky-looking abyss, it's not so bad, but I think it'd just be better if all of this was grass, just to make things nice and simple. And now we can kind of like get a good view of what we're dealing with. Perfect. So now you can see that this is kind of like the courtyard. Maybe that's a better name for it rather than just kind of like the sunken in place. This is the courtyard. We want to dig underneath the grass or the dirt areas, like around the pool, for instance. Instead of having like dirt underneath the pool, let's make the sides of the walls light grey. It will just look a little bit better like this. Let's turn that dirt into light grey. It will just be way better, just like that. Perfect. It just looks so much nicer, so much cleaner. We take this corner out, light grey here, where we have these stairs. We can have some oak planks. The walls on the left side, the front, all of these walls just want to have grey concrete underneath them. Again, we don't want the house to look all messy and nasty. We want there to be some grey concrete here, just so that it looks nice and smooth, and it will just look way more appealing this way. So we can place all of this grey concrete here, just like this, here. I should also point out, ladies and gentlemen, that we are rapidly coming to the part of the tutorial where we have almost finished this house. After we have filled in all of these walls using grey concrete, really, unless we start getting into details of the house, really making the outside look nice, adding like barbecue pits and just adding some like farming area and adding some leaves and flowers, we can't really do anything else. So once this has all been filled in, once we've chucked a few doors on the house, then we will actually be done, and you'll be able to decorate the house as you see fit. Or if you want to see my version of the interior block by block and my version of the outside this house block by block, then we will absolutely be able to do that in a separate video. But now all of this has been filled in, we have a nice empty blank canvas. We're just going to take the oak doors and, for instance, like I said earlier, it's up to you how you deal with this. I might leave this kind of like nice and open, but we would have doors up here, for instance. On the second floor, we would have doors up here, for instance, where we have the light grey concrete. We would also have doors here leading into the kitchen. We can still have our double oak doors and we can have the glass block above it, but that is pretty much what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. That is the nice blank canvas that this house is, and it is just ready to be lit up with all of the other finer details of the house, which I am going to show you right now, but this is where the step-by-step tutorial ends, ladies and gentlemen. If you do want to see a block for block tutorial of everything that you're about to see, then you guys know what you'll have to do. If you could get this video to 2,000 likes, then I will absolutely show you how to make everything else that you're about to see. But if not, happy decorating. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what your house will look like once it has been 100% fully completed inside and out. As I scan around the build, you will notice that there are a lot more windows added around where appropriate. You will also notice that the entire forecourt has been completely made as well. We have a nice little barbecue area over here, a fire pit. We have flowers decorating the outside of the build. We have leaves decorating the pool and the various walkways. We have a nice big farmland for a bit of practicality. We have some seats and we have some parasols out in front of the pool to make it nice and comfy. We also have a little indoor barbecue chill out area over here, which I'm nice and happy with. If we head inside the house, this is a good spot to head inside. We have a pretty large kitchen. In the kitchen we have bins, we have cabinets, units, a mug tree, we have a large fridge freezer, we have a sink, we have that's supposed to be a kettle, the brewing stand, but it can be whatever you imagine it to be. We have a nice large cooker. And also a little chest freezer as well. As we head into the living room, we have a nicely decorated little dining area, and we also have a little jukebox as well that we can listen to music. We have a large TV in the center of the room with a coffee table and a sofa. We have a little reading nook as well, which is nice and cozy. We have a light. We have a little aquarium just below the stairs, which I really like. It's built into the stairs. If we head upstairs, we have a few different options. So upstairs we can go into the master bedroom, which is quite large and extensive, but the master bedroom actually has an ensuite, so a little bathroom all by itself, and we have a bath, towel, we have a toilet, a little bit of rug. If we head into the bedroom itself, we have a little bit of a library seating area that you can kind of chill out and look at all of your stuff from your large windows. We have a TV suspended from the ceiling, which you can move around if this was, real life. We have units, cabinets, bookshelves. We have a large double bed. We have a dressing table. We have some armor. We have a wardrobe. We have chests. As we head through the house, we have a secondary bedroom, which has a bed, which has a small table in it. We have curtains, we have a chest, even has its own little tiny ensuite as well, where we have a tiny little bath and a toilet which takes up most of the room. And all of this ends with us eventually being able to make it out onto the balcony, which we can take a look at our house from. I really like this build, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as well. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, ladies and gentlemen, please do remember to hit that like button. It really helps me and the channel out very, very much. If you are new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you want to make anything else by me, including the inside part of this house, if that tutorial gets made, you will find it in the card system description below in the top of the comment section. Hopefully you'll be able to find it nice and easy in all of those places. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.